Hey there, Segudo golfers. Tom Segudo here with my dad, Mike, and Rob Cheney,
Hey,
YouTube
everyone.
legend. And we're about to go through a golf lesson today for my dad. And just a little background. Rob, you were somebody that I idolized in the golf instruction world growing up, just learning this system.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot through Rob. Rob has taught me a ton of things. Him and Andy are, to me, in the same stratosphere, if you will.
That's far too kind, thank you.
And so I thought it'd be awesome to see what Rob can do to my dad's swing. My dad has been a challenge to me.
Yes.
He's always changing his swing, and that presented a huge challenge. So now that Rob gets to be the drill instructor, it's kind of hard being a drill instructor to your dad. So you need to fix your swing. Like, I feel like it's Full Metal Jacket, and I can't do that. So now Rob, I am offloading all of that drill instructing to Rob.
Thank you.
I saw Rob got the whip out. He's ready to go.
I'm not sure.
Oh, man. It's on you, man.
So, Rob, without further ado, I'm excited to see you work with my dad. And
This is going to
and
be
how
fun.
this goes.
Mike, really great to meet you. Thanks,
Same here, Rob.
thanks for agreeing to do this. And I'm really hoping I can give you some help and guidance as to what you need to do. I'll be filming Mike's swing using my iPad, so it's the same thing I would do in a regular lesson. The video is a crucial tool in an instructor's arsenal to be able to help them see what's really going on. And so the video is going to be a key part of this lesson. It will also help with the feedback of showing you what you're doing and try and communicate any changes that I'm going to prescribe for you. So without further ado, you ready to start hitting? You want to
Sure.
share anything with me that immediately pops to mind?
Well, I mean, this is good because I really haven't hit a ball in a month, so
Okay.
we'll start with
What would be your expectation on those first few balls? You think you're worried you're going to thin them, top them, hit them to the left, hit them to the right?
I'll probably be a little bit thin, missing that ball ground contact.
Okay.
I'd probably over shallow my downswing path, trying to correct what I know is a bad move.
Okay.
So sometimes Tom will have me on the launch monitor, and it'll be like 14 degrees in to out. So
Okay.
it can be a little crazy like that.
So already getting a sense of some of your
Yeah.
pattern as you tell me those things.
Right, and part of it I know, and I can't fix it because it just doesn't feel right, is my grip is uber strong.
Okay.
And that's the only, I always default back
Yeah.
to that. He'll get me into a more neutral grip position,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll feel like I'm clanking it. I'll feel like I want to come over it.
Okay.
So I have to get like this so I can feel like I can come from the inside again.
I can see some patterns already there, which will, yeah, I'll help you overcome some of those and give you some other ideas maybe that hopefully you haven't tried yet, and then that really sort of open up a different opportunity for you to improve some of the pieces. So go ahead and start hitting. What are you hitting there?
It's a 9-iron.
Okay, start warming up with a 9. You haven't hit any balls today, right? And
Correct.
this is cold, I know that to be true. So let's go straight in. If you just let me grab my iPad to film the first one, and then we can just keep hitting and I'll narrate what's going on. Okay, Mike, whenever you're ready, buddy. So that was a decent strike, do you agree?
It was all right. First swing, felt the left arm collapsing a bit through just after impact, but not bad for a first swing.
Thin, push.
That would be my expectation right there,
Okay.
coming in cold.
Push. Contact for you there was okay?
Yeah, another thin clank.
A little thin, okay. A little bit straighter, still thin,
Yeah.
still push. Okay, so we've got a pattern of shots there. What point in your kind of club through the bag do you start overdrawing these balls and hooking them too much to the left?
It can really manifest itself with any club, but as I get probably 6-iron and longer.
Okay,
But then with the driver, that's another conundrum. That could go anywhere.
yeah,
'Cause I never feel comfortable with that long shaft. I can't find the club head.
yeah. Okay,
I'm always trying to save coming over it and then doing something like that.
all right, let's have one more, please. Best one so far.
That's crisp.
That was a tiny push, draw, good contact. Nice shot. Okay. All right. I think there's a pattern there already. And you know, oftentimes I would try and narrate that to a student. Some people are more aware of their pattern than others. So I'm going to share stuff with you that I think you already know, but also for the benefit of the people watching, just try to highlight what those things are. So I'd put you into the bucket of swinging too far to the right, too much into out. And there's a number of reasons that I think that happens. If you swing too far to the right, too much into out, what's your understanding of what that would do to a ball flight?
Well, depending on the face angle at impact, it's either going to give me a straight push, maybe even a block, or it could be a huge overdraw.
Yeah.
Tom calls it the janitor. It's the big sweeping hook.
Okay.
So
Sweeps the floor.
and I experience all of those.
That's fair. The other thing it does, which some people don't realize, and again, for the education for the audience as much as for yourself, it also creates, moves the low point further back. Okay. So it makes the low point further behind the ball, which makes you prone to thinning a lot of shots.
Right.
Occasionally that will also mean you'll hit the ground before the ball sometimes, but mostly because you're swinging too much to the right, the club's coming away from the ground prematurely, and therefore you hit a lot of thin shots. And we saw that in just that short demonstration. Sure. So helping you to swing less to the right would be a starting point, but it's interesting because I think a lot of your swinging to the right comes from the extremely strong face, closed face, which you would know as the strong grip. So I'll spend a little bit of time just going through your swing, and then we'll get into the good stuff of what to fix and why and how, and what I would prescribe for you. Okay, Mike, so I'm really going to focus on a down the line video today. And again, just to reiterate, the goal here would be to try to help you swing less excessively into out. Your swing direction needs to be less to the right to help you hit straighter shots, make better contact. I pulled up on the screen here your swing, and then I'm using a model swing here on the left. This is Grant Waite. It's a swing I use a lot in my online lessons. This is just a nice, clean, neutral swing where the swing direction's pretty straight. So what do I see at setup? Things that would make you more predisposed to swinging too much to the right. One of those things would be the right hand and the right arm position. Your right hand and right arm gets too far under the shaft into a strong grip position. That sets your upper body and your forearms, as you can see, to the right, and makes you more likely to swing too much to the right. That's the biggest thing that stands out to me really at setup. I'm not going to prescribe a grip change today. I'm going to prescribe a different movement of your wrists in the swing to change the orientation of the club face a different way. So you can change the face by changing the grip. You can also change the face by changing the wrist angles with the same grip. And that's often a better way to go about it because, as you've already highlighted, grip changes are uncomfortable. Right? Was that fair?
Absolutely, but I know I'm too strong, so a little weakening there, if we can. We can
maybe nudge some of that in there. So your grip does predispose you to being more closed with the face, more push and hook type of shot pattern, but it doesn't mean you're subjected to that forever. There are workarounds, and I like to try and introduce those workarounds because if you think the only option you have is to change your grip, the fact that you really don't like changing your grip is going to stop you from ever really making progress. So I'm hoping to help you to do that today. Just as we move through the time and space of the swing, as you swing back, partly because of that setup, you end up having the club head a little bit more in and behind you on the way back, meaning it gets sucked in behind your hands. That would be, again, consistent with a swing direction that's too much to the right. Here the golfer's hands and club line up a little bit more. We'll take this to the top. I really want to show the things that I think are relevant for this lesson. And the next piece that I'd want you to recognize, and also for the folks at home, to recognize the difference in that club face at the top.
Right.
And whether you know the differences in terms of what that does to the ball flight or not doesn't really matter, just recognizing that it's different right now.
Sure.
And then I would communicate to you that club face is in a very strong position, closed. That's identifiable really by the fact that the face of your golf club points more up to the sky. And this one is more 45 degrees, let's say.
Right, which is where Tom's is all the time, which I'm always jealous of every time I watch him swing.
So what you could do here, and this is really a starting of the change, at the top, your lead wrist, your left wrist, could have more extension in it. That would be a cupping motion.
Right.
And if I taught you to do that, you would definitely have the face less closed.
Okay.
Now we have to see how you do with that feel, but that would be a good way for us to put your club face into a position now where you're less incentivized to swing so much to the right.
Okay.
So much of your rightward swing direction is partly you trying to mitigate the closed face. So you're reacting all the time. So if I just made your swing straighter, but kept your club face closed, what would happen? What would you think would happen?
I'd be pulling it all day long.
Pull hook all day long. And the minute you see that ball overcurve violently to the left, your brain's going to go, don't want to do that. And so you're right back into that pattern of swinging too far to the right. So we really have to fix the face first. I identified your swing direction as being too far to the right, but it's not really the problem. The problem is the face forcing you to swing more and more to the right to try and mitigate that. So you can see that's different there. You have a flat back swing, you mentioned that. Again, that's consistent with the in to out.
Yeah.
Anything else that you pick up on there that you want to talk about?
I mean, that flat backswing drives me crazy. I every time I think I'm getting more tilt, I look at the video and the backswing's just like that. You know, it's the feel versus real. And every swing, my downswing is over that backswing plane.
Okay.
And that drives me batty. So,
Okay.
yeah.
We'll talk a little bit about that today. Part of the drill I'll give you, we'll give you some of that. I think your tilts aren't as off as you might think, but your lead arm is much lower than your shoulder tilt, and so I can help you to do that.
Baseball player.
We'll get to this, and again, as I say, if your face is in a better spot, I believe this swing becomes less valuable to you, less beneficial to you. You don't need to do it this way.
Okay.
So we'll get to that at some point. So the face we're definitely going to talk about. That's going to be a piece that I'd like to see change as we go through this. As you know, coming down, I would say that the swing direction can be identified here at a position that we call P6. For anyone watching who doesn't know the positions of the swing, when the shaft is parallel to the ground in the downswing, that's called position 6. And we can have a pretty decent idea of the swing direction by looking at where the club is in relation to the hands.
Right.
So the club lining up with the hands is going to tell me that your swing direction is pretty straight, and the club being stuck behind your hands is going to tell me that your swing direction is more out to the right. So I'll just draw that in. So that would be you coming this way, more into out, whereas this swing is going to go more straight into the ball and out again. So I can tell a little bit of that exists, and we already know that to be true based on your pattern.
Right.
And then as you come through the ball, your exit will also tend to be higher, your hands coming out too high, and quite a lot of that rolling of the face, okay, that you'll see, as opposed to the hands and the club coming out much lower, significantly lower. That's a straighter swing direction, and a club face that also isn't as closed. That's the overview of what I see, and my mind immediately goes to helping you have the face less closed. Once the face is less closed, I can help you to swing straighter.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
No, sounds great.
Okay. All right, let's set yourself up, and let me talk you through and walk you through what I would have you do. Okay, go ahead and take that thing up to the top.
My normal way.
Yeah, normal way. So what I would say to you is you could have this face more neutral, or square, pretty much, by extending this wrist.
Okay.
Now this flies in the face of most conventional golf instruction, right? People don't want to do that. You're in a camp of people that aren't as common. This isn't as common of a problem. I'll teach far more people that need to flex their wrist more. But because of your attachment, we have to take this into consideration. So it's okay to do this. And this is really important when people think that any golf instructor teaches a system. They think they teach everyone the same thing.
Right.
And I'm definitely not doing that. I'm teaching you the piece you need. So if you had the face more open, that would be this movement here. You would be less incentivized to swing down from the inside because you now hit everything to the right. You'd want to swing down a bit straighter. So I would love to just see you demonstrate for me a backswing where you try to put that more extension in at the top and just hold that position at the top of the swing.
Just feel that towards the top.
Good question. You can feel it throughout the entirety of the backswing. I don't mind when you put it in, but it needs to be in by the time you get to the top. Good. Okay, one more. Yep, it's definitely more open, which is good. I'm just readjusting slightly, just giving you some feels, because that part of the swing is awkward because you can't see it.
Right.
So you're having to deal 100% with feel. Yep, that's pretty nice. That's good. I like it. Okay, now swing from there, just swing down and try and hit the ground. Good. Okay, we're going to do that a few times. Now, I'm going to grab a small tee, and eventually we'll just chip a few off the tee in a minute. We'll hit off of the low tee, because I don't want you to worry about having to have perfect low point control with this new change. But So for now, the practice would be more of those demonstrations, please. So go ahead to the top. Yeah, good. Try to hit the ground. Nice. I'm just going to film one of those. I'd like you to keep going. Okay, one more time. Keep the right arm a little straighter. Okay, that's where I want you to be. Hit it. Good, one more time, please. Good, yeah, that's nice. That's the best one you've done so far. Hit the ground, great. Okay, let me take a look at that. So I'm just going to pull up your swing. I'm not going to pull up any model now. We know what we're looking for. We've already highlighted the things we're trying to change. So as you swing back, first of all, even just your setup there looks a little more neutral. You see how your right hand's not as much. That may change when we put the ball there, and I understand that. And I do appreciate we're not hitting a ball yet. But in terms of how you're moving that back, you see how the club's moving back a little straighter, a lot straighter. And at the top, you've actually now got this club face into an open position, something that's actually too open. Now I'm okay with that as a feel because I know that when the ball's there, we're going to lose some of that. Sure. But it's a beautiful demonstration of what I asked you to do, which was to extend your lead wrist more, which would open the club face. And that motion did give you some of the elevation of the arm as well, which I was expecting it to do. So well done, that's nice. I'll just hold you in position. We'll get those lines out of the way. That structure of your arm there is good. I know there's no ball there yet. As you come down, this thing's a little inside still. Right. That's okay. There's just some residual there that we're going to have to knock out as we go. The thing that would happen is if your face is now less closed and you swing too much to the right, you'll hit all pushes. And so the second part of our fix will be straightening the swing with some constraints. We'll come to that shortly. But I wanted you to see your ability to demonstrate what I wanted you to do. And if you start to make this backswing, your excessive rightward swing can become a thing of the past. Okay. If you don't change the wrist conditions at the top, you are always going to live in that world of swinging too much to the right. And then it's just on any given day whether you can just get the timing to kind of click.
Now, one thing that does feel like at the top though, I mean, you can see the straight right arm there, right up through the hand basically. It makes the right hand feel in a stronger position at the top, like it wants to come down over it. So that might be why I'm trying to save it a little bit.
We'll see what happens when you, that's exactly, it makes a lot of sense. We'll see what happens when you start to hit the ball. How did that picture
The picture looks a lot better already.
Because you know enough to know what to look at, right?
Oh, yeah.
So this is good. So the next step is we're going to put some on a little tee. We'll keep doing the drill in 2 stages, which is you stopping at the top, finding that spot, and then I say to you, I've been saying to you hit the ground. What I'm really going to say to you now is hit the ball, and we'll just see what we get, and I'll keep filming, and we'll go from there.
That sounds good.
So ball on a small tee, so you don't have to worry so much about contact. Practice swing first, again, just in here to the side of the ball, because that's been 2 minutes since you last did this practice swing. You need to remind yourself what that's like. That right arm could still be a bit straighter as I do that. Okay, hit the ground. Perfect. Okay, we'll do that with the ball. You can set up to the ball. I'm going to adjust you again, and we are going to stop at the top. So this isn't a full swing yet. Right. It's to the top. Okay, just going to pull you into position. Go. That's fine. Let's do a couple of those. That's why the ball's on a tee. I'm fully expecting that the contact can be a little scruffy. But what I'm going to be looking for on the camera is how well you're managing the face, and if that's having any influence just yet on the swing direction. So to the top. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I just like that right arm to feel a little bit wider. Yep, go. Good. Okay, let me take a look at those. So this was the first one you hit actually. You see how you still have that swing get a little long? Yeah. And you can see how when I come in here and grab you, I just try to straighten out that right arm a little bit. But the arm structure there is really nice. The thing's coming down way straighter. Yeah. P6, where the shaft's parallel to the ground, you've basically got that thing absolutely on the perfect spot. Just hands, club head slightly inside the hands there, which would be a nice sort of target for us to look for. Just going to put a circle on that so people can see what I'm talking about. And then coming through the ball, this one was thin, it's okay. The exit, you remember where the exit was coming out before? Mm-hmm. Too high. Yep. See how that club's coming out below your shoulder? and the hands are coming out below the shoulder as well. And there's a little bit less of the rolling as well.
As much, yeah.
So we're definitely on the right track, okay? So again, it sort of shows how if you fix the right piece, fix is a strong word because it's not fixed by any stretch of the imagination yet, but if you change the right piece, you also start to create a chain reaction of other things that start to move in a better way. So we should have some expectation that this was going to happen. The swing direction was going to improve because the face was in a better spot. And you can definitely manage your face with your wrists as opposed to managing the face with a grip change, which, as you know, is very, very difficult for you. So I would now want to do a lot more of these. Just because you've done one of these better doesn't mean they're all going to be better. So my job now is to keep you in that space and let you do more reps.
Okay. Definitely keeping that right arm straight or going back. I'm just breaking it down.
I like it. It may even become your feel. Like that. And when I'm saying to you, extend the lead wrist more, what I'm also saying at the same time without saying it is flex the trail wrist more. So you're right. This could be an entirely right arm feel for you. It may develop into a right arm or a right wrist feel as opposed to a left arm and a left wrist feel. It really doesn't matter. Okay. Whichever one gives us the outcome that we're looking for. But yeah, that right arm pushing away is going to be a nice one for you. Okay, let's film a few more. Okay, one more time. Okay, stop. I want the face more open. Yes. Good.
Well, so really.
Yep, you can hit it. That's good. Yep.
I mean, I feel like I'm bowing the right wrist there.
Okay, let's do it. Take it to the top. I still want you to stop at the top for me. Put it in there. Hit it. Okay, keep going. So really what I would do now, Tom, is just spend some time doing this a lot and just really trying to help him with what we're looking for. From the point of view of the video, how good's that?
Yeah, you can see how well you reduce that excessive in to out pass.
Straight away, right? Just with the right arm and the wrist. No, yep. Nice.
There's that push draw.
Dead straight. Pretty much. Like no curve. Like nice.
You zeroed his path.
Zero. And I wouldn't need a TrackMan to tell me that, right?
No.
I wouldn't need a TrackMan. Yes, please. I wouldn't need a TrackMan to tell me. I can see a lot of this on the camera. Hold on.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, yeah, good.
That's a ball play he doesn't usually see. Yeah, you see the club head just behind the hands, not like way out in another county.
That's nice.
And on the way through, does that slow some of his head? The face is staying square.
Look at that. Through. Look at that face. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Now, what's really something we can do is look at the hack motion. I can put that on, and then there could be a range if there's a.
That's pretty. That's a pretty swing.
Yeah.
We could have done hack motion, right? Could have done.
We had used it in the past and introduced some because that tells you if the face is square enough. Oh, look at that strike.
So the balls, if anything, have got a little bit of a push, curve, and a fraction of a even starting to maybe cut a little bit.
It's a different way of hitting the ball, though. Like he has to get used to that.
Yeah, it's a huge difference to what he's used to. Okay, stop at the top. Stop. Okay, right arm straighter. Yes. Okay, hit it. Good. So take a look at that one. So you've hit a few now by yourself. You're still doing a good job of stopping at the top. You'll notice that club still goes a bit too far.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the right arm flexing too much. So the right arm pushing away is going to continue to be a feel that I help you with. So when I come in here and help you with that right arm, less flexed, club's in a good spot. That thing's coming down. I mean, we talked about how nicely that needs to line up. Again, I don't need a launch monitor to tell me that swing direction is now much closer to zero than it was before. And as a consequence, there's an expectation on what that ball flight's going to look like. This one was a bit thin, which is fine for now, but your hands are tracing the arc on the follow through. Club's exiting below your shoulder. less roll for sure than you had before in the face, and the hands are also coming out a bit lower as well. So, you know, for me, this is where I would start, and this really emphasizes the importance of video. That you now, I believe you can do this. You know, I don't think I've ever come across anyone that couldn't do what they need to do. Right. They just, some people it comes to them a little easier. Other people have got to do a lot more work, and that is work now. There's a lot of grinding, and you need the video to match the feel in the reel, because you'll get a sense of what you think you're supposed to do, and within 10 swings, because this is so fresh, what you thought was the right amount becomes the wrong amount. And then you're right off again. So it's the discipline of practicing with the camera and you checking when you're by yourself, or having the supervision of a coach to help you practice. And that's really where I spend my time with people, is not telling them more things. Right. It's supervising their practice, which really is valuable time. You're not just taking someone's knowledge and getting as much information out of them as you can. You're actually using their skill to help you train in a way that's good. You have your personal trainer to make sure you do your exercises correctly. You could do them on your own. Some people don't use a personal trainer. Once they know what to do, they go and do it by themselves. But you need a camera. You have to have a camera. There's no getting away from that. So we really didn't need to put in any constraints, which I was going to do if your swing direction hadn't have straightened itself out, if you kept swinging to the right. But you've hit enough balls. I think you're an experienced enough golfer that there's some good pathways in there. You've got some concept of what you should be doing, and now that this thing's in the right place, or a better place, you're much more incentivized to come down straighter, and we're seeing that immediately. So for me, this is the start of what would be the first session, first lesson, showing you what to do. This is just with one club. This is just doing a drill still. This would be some homework for you, a significant amount, but over time I would expect your ball flight to get much straighter, and the camera would back that up. Okay. All right. Okay. Any other questions that you had about what we've done there today, and what you should be trying to do?
No, I mean, it's just a matter of getting that right arm pushing away more.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's supposed to be a pressure point in the grip.
Yeah.
That never felt good to me either, but I need to probably do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That thing there.
You do. And to that extent, I would say that your backswings, and this is really where we have to take this in baby steps. If I let you make full swings or full backswings now, this club's going to start bouncing back into the wrong spot. So it's just really having the discipline to do it. And I think you can. I know everybody really can do it, but it's just putting in the time and the reps. Don't be put off by the next time you film your swing if it's right back to where you started, right? That may happen. But it's key that you've got the feels and the understanding of what to look for on the camera. And also don't be too disappointed if you make a full swing, like you go to the course and someone films you and it's gone back to being a little bit across and closed again. Mm-hmm. In the early days, that's quite common. You know, we have to take it from the lab, which is the driving range, right, and to the zoo, which is the kind of like being on your own or on the putting green, like kind of just figuring stuff out, to the wild, which is like playing with your buddies on the course, right? There's a difference there, and I think it would be disingenuous not to recognize that we've made a couple of little changes here that are positive, but I don't think they stick immediately. There's some work to do.
Absolutely.
But I enjoyed trying to show you those pieces. I hope that was useful.
Absolutely, thank you.
Mike?
Awesome.
I'll be back, as someone once said. And I'd also I'd love you to keep me updated with your swings, and you've got a good cameraman here. Absolutely. To help you. I'd love to see your progress with this, and keep me updated on how you do.
Sounds see, great. Now the drill sergeant, he's holding you accountable.
Yeah, I like that.
He's going to want to see video.
Yeah.
And something I was just thinking about is for all y'all back home watching, when you're making a change, what stood out more was that there's a time element to getting used to this new position. It's not like we do a 5-minute tip on YouTube and just, oh, we've got it. Usually that's a freak accident. This, you have to put in the time because you're feeling a different place of hitting from here versus here. Okay. Like that feels different when you get to each position. So be gentle on yourself when you introduce even something this small into the swing. Yeah,
that's it seems small in some context.
Right.
It's really very large.
The field difference is significant.
Yeah.
I would actually say that changing that wrist condition, which really changes the positioning of the weight of the golf club throughout the entire swing. The reason it's so hard for people to change their swings is because you're not seeing what's going on up here. You're closing my eyes here. You're feeling what's going on. If I put this club into your hands and twisted it completely the wrong way, you would know that that was the wrong position, because this club has a mass, it has a center of mass that you get used to feeling. The reason it's so hard for everyone to change their swing is they've got so comfortable with this being in a particular place. And so when it's out of position in their mind, your brain's like, oh, that doesn't feel right, I need to put it back into the old position. So it really does take time, to Tom's point, and I think you said it beautifully.
Yeah, so be easy on yourself, and you guys did a great job today. It was fun to watch, and it was clear that the path was starting to zero. That was awesome. So
that will help every club in your bag as well. Oftentimes the question is it the same with the driver, or is it the same with everything else? Well, in theory, yes, but we'll use the camera to confirm that we're seeing the right thing. I thought you did really well, and I hope that option of doing the face change via the wrist rather than the face change via the grip is a little more acceptable to you and easier for you to accomplish.
Probably will be, because I always default back to that strong grip.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Great.
Well, good luck, and as I say,
Thank you, Rob.
keep me posted, and we'll keep everyone else posted.
excellent work, Rob, and
Tom,
great having you on the channel again.
Thank you, man.
If you want to know more about Rob's channel, check out the link in the comments and description below. I put a link to his channel there, and certainly you can get lessons with him. I think you got lessons on Skillet.
Yeah, if you want to find me online lessons on Skillet, teaching people all over the world. So yeah, reach out. Love to hear from you.
Sweet. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you in a future episode.